Hello and welcome, viewers. You're going to be watching over the next 3 hours Times Now special coverage of the Karnataka elections as we get into that area where all our necks are on a chopping block. That's because, viewers, it's exit poll day. And in about 30 minutes, Padmaja, we'll start, of course, putting out some of the first projections from the Times Now ETG survey. It's a massive survey, viewers. We've gone down to pretty much every district, every constituency that counts, that matters in Karnataka to get you that big number. The number that's going to tell us who's actually winning that election, or perhaps, as a lot of people are saying, throw up some sort of a extremely intriguing result where, once again, it'll be back to resort politics, the politics of last resort. But viewers, whatever it is, it's been one of those campaigns that promises to set the tone for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. There's no doubt about that. The Prime Minister himself has invested a huge amount of his political capital, Padmaja, in the state. Rahul Gandhi, who began actually fundamentally his Bharat Jodo Yatra with a deep emphasis on Karnataka, spent a number of days there, saw massive crowd response according to... Maximum days in Karnataka. Yes. And also maximum, so they say, maximum response from the crowd. So it really made it a interesting election. Of course, there are some very big issues that have come up over the last, what should one say, 45 days of hectic campaigning, but it's like really the last 15 days that has really occupied, hasn't it?
So here is the binary that one can really look at in these elections. It was a massive fight, and the fight of the year, I think we can safely say, which is going to set the tenor for what happens in 2024. But it's not just about who will win. You know, there are so many things this election will decide. First, let's talk about what is the main thrust. Is this going to be an local issue-based election, which is what the Congress hopes it will be, or will it be a Modi-driven election, which is what the BJP has tried to do in the last 20 days? That's point number one. Point number two is that from here on, if the Congress manages to lose, and I say manage because even the most severest critics are saying they are ahead in this election. If they lose it, then all the other non-BJP parties are going to start saying, we will lead the opposition bloc. Mr. Gandhi, you please step back, because Karnataka was a surest shot. Now a Mamata Banerjee, an Arvind Kejriwal, a Nitish Kumar, maybe even Mr. Naveen Patnaik are going to say, why you?
You think they're really waiting for the outcome to even say this?
I think they would, because this really seems like, one thing is for a fact, that Congress is the biggest national party right now before the BJP. So the other parties are very, cynically dismissed by the Congress as regional players. Now they'll say, what regional players? Aam Aadmi Party is already a national party, newly anointed. They'll say, look, we are in power in 2 states, 1.5 states. You are also very close because now they have Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. That's it, right? So... I
think she's got a point. I think, viewers, at the end of the day, this is as much about opposition unity and a test for the opposition going up into 2024 as it is really a test for the BJP and its own claims that a double engine really brings about change and wins over or defeats anti-incumbency. I don't know if that is going to happen, because as of now, most pollsters are predicting the BJP not really making it. Now,
So in terms of issues, let's look at the big issues. We've shortlisted about 5 issues which could well decide what the voter today has voted for. Number 1, like we said, it's a double engine versus reverse engine, and for all of this were pretty much the same themes that echoed through the elections. So, double engine versus reverse engine, how it played out in the polls. Let's listen.
कॉन्ट्रैक्टर एसोसिएशन प्रधानमंत्री को चिट्ठी लिखता है, कहता है कि कर्नाटक में 40% कमीशन लिया जा रहा है, प्रधानमंत्री चिट्ठी का जवाब नहीं देते। तो प्रधानमंत्री यहां आते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री को सबसे पहले कर्नाटक की जनता को समझाना चाहिए कि उन्होंने ये जो 40% भ्रष्ट सरकार है इसके बारे में क्या किया। कितने लोगों को प्रधानमंत्री ने गिरफ्तार करवाया, प्रधानमंत्री ने कितनी इंक्वायरी कराई। सवाल यह है कि 40% में से कौन से इंजन को कितना मिला?
क्या कर्नाटका का विकास ऐसी कांग्रेस पार्टी कर सकती है जिसका लक्ष्य भ्रष्टाचार और तुष्टीकरण हो? कर सकती है क्या? क्या 85% कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका के नौजवानों का भविष्य बना सकती है? कभी नहीं बना सकती दोस्तों।
Well, corruption has become a big issue, and it is in some ways tied in with governance, as you know, viewers, and especially the promise that the Prime Minister has made. Na main khane dunga, na khaunga, but unfortunately in Karnataka there has been a massive backlash against the Bharatiya Janata Party, specific leaders who found their names being dragged really across the muck, so to speak, Padmaja, because of corruption. 40% Sarkara is what many people are talking about, people saying that they're fed up with corruption, etc. And the Congress really, as you saw, amplified that and therefore said, the double engine, sorry, this is a double engine of corruption, this, that, the other. But let's open this up, because we have with us psephologist Jay Mook, perhaps the best in the country today. Jay, are we overemphasizing this corruption factor? It's not as if the other side is clean. You know, the Congress doesn't really have a great legacy either in Karnataka. Now, you have a different take on all of this.
Look, I love to look at data dispassionately, only in terms of ranges and swings. So that's my weakness or strength, whatever you call it. Now, the last time we witnessed, I mean, the BJP was on a similar footing, rather worse footing, was in 2013.
Yeah.
There was a high-profile event of the Lok Ayukta, putting restraints on Mr. Yediyurappa. He had to quit his chief ministership. The Reddy brothers, rumored, to be equally corrupt, splitting away from the BJP, floating their own party. Yet, if you look at the cumulative votes, I mean, I call it the BJP fraternity vote, Yediyurappa's vote, Reddy's vote, which finally came together again in 2014. If you look at that vote cumulatively, the BJP fraternity vote in 2013 was about 32%. And that is just a 1.8% drop from what it was in 2008. So all the song and drama, the big noise, but the constituents and the related fraternity actually kept casting their vote for the BJP and those parties. Right? So we really don't know if the talk of corruption is going to produce a very big swing. If I just look at the data dispassionately, I would say those are minor swings.
Those are minor swings.
So, JVC, you also have traveled across Karnataka. Let's leave the city out for a bit. In rural areas, how much are people voters buying into 40% Sarkara campaign?
Absolutely no.
Why?
It's like a pot calling a kettle black. Because Congress has been rooted in corruption, and they have the legacy of, lot of corruption scandals breaking out, like A for Others, B for Bofors and all those stuff. As a result of which a Karnataka voter, particularly in the rural area, is not even bothered about the 40% thing.
No, but let me ask you this. A lot of people say, oh, this is a very urban phenomenon. Now, when the police recruitment scam happened, that affects people in rural areas, right? Those police recruitment is not happening in Bengaluru Central. It is happening from the poorest areas, from Bellary, from Shivamogga. It affects them also.
See, that's the reason why somewhere after November 8th, there has been a deflection point as the Karnataka election is concerned. By Bharat Jodo Yatra was a success in Karnataka. It might not have been a success in other parts of the country. And then your 40% pay CM, all those stuff is working. The moment Sri Narendra Modi landed in Bangalore, opened that Kempegowda statue, and from there, Congress has not been able to steadily run on one narrative. And there has not been a single proof. Like say, I can go on saying 40% commission.
But there is also perhaps, another factor, and which is that here very aggressively, Padmaja and Jay, perhaps you could bear me out on this one. The one way that they've tried to blunt the corruption factor, the BJP, is by changing a large number of their incumbents. And I'm being told that it is such an extensive exercise, it's even sort of preceded what happened in Gujarat this year.
Rahul, I'll qualify that with the exact number. We actually kept that cluster for the counting day, but I'll get the number out. It is 101, including those who are sitting and non-sitting. So more than 101 looks to be the number. More than 100 candidates changed. It is close to 40% of the assembly candidates going for a renewal as compared to 2018.
Because corruption,
Yeah.
sorry to say, I mean, we've
it
had a
blunts the
terrible,
edge.
just before the Gujarat election,
Yeah.
we had the Morbi bridge collapse.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was not an example of maladministration and obviously also
Yeah.
some amount of oversight, lack of oversight because of perhaps, I'm not making any accusations here, because of complicity,
Yeah.
and we all know what that is driven out of, that didn't really have a massive impact in Gujarat. Why would it not have, therefore, you're saying similar?
So the parallel is similar in Karnataka. As I said, there's another parallel to this. Just as I said that the BJP's committed fraternity vote remained, that's what the data shows. Even the Congress, it keeps on falling. Its peaks are lower and lower, but every successive election, it's in a 2.5% range, which means unless there is something like a very tectonic shift, corruption still remains one of the issues. It's not the driver issue of the elections.
Tehseen Poonawalla, do you think that this is really a tectonic shift issue? 40% Sarkara was blunted by 40% people changed.
No, it's not as simple as that. I wish in politics 2 plus 2 would be 4, but it's not 2 plus 2 is 4. Sometimes it's 22. That the 40% Commission Sarkara did take an impact on the BJP is no doubt that they had to change 40% of the sitting legislators. And another fact, Jay, you should check, of the 40% new people they got in, 50% of them were dynast. But my dynasty is cleaner than your dynasty. So the BJP is, as I call them, a party of hypocrites. The fact is we give too much of credit to the Prime Minister's campaign or Amit Shahji's campaign, as Times Now carried out from a ANI video. When the Honorable Home Minister was campaigning in BJP, he was shouting at his that there was no crowd. Where is the crowd? And he had to cancel his campaigning in DK Shiv Kumar's constituency. But I think the Congress has made a couple of mistakes. This was an election for the Congress to take. We should have been sitting here and saying 125 plus. I don't want to get into numbers. I think if it's become close, it's not because of the Prime Minister or the Honorable Home Minister. It's become close because of a certain deviation that the Congress did, which it should avoid doing. The Congress should have fought.
You're talking about the manifesto blooper.
The manifesto
so
blooper.
Don't say it. No, why are you jumping around and sort of skirting the issue?
I'm not jumping around. Come on, I'm sitting.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm sitting.
You must name these issues.
But I think the one positive thing that the Congress has realized from this, so the countries, the Congress now has a formula to win state elections. If it can replicate it, in states, Congress, you will see, will start doing better from now on. Centre, I still realize that is a challenge for the Congress, but it has a formula now to win. There is one more factor for the Congress.
What's the formula? What's the formula?
The formula is state issues,
state
issues, speak on state issues, do not deviate, employment jobs. Karnataka on employment, on inflation was very badly hit. I know they'll talk about startups, they'll talk about the startup success. It saw the greatest exodus in startups in the last 3 to 4 months post 2023. So Karnataka was a perfect example of economic vision for the Congress and social development and regional pride. Okay. If it can put that in different areas, it has a winning formula.
Let's bring in Mr. Tom Vadakkan of the Bharatiya Janata Party. But just before that, viewers, let's play out that very significant moment in the campaign where in the manifesto the Congress party came out and said that among some organizations that it found was guilty of extremism, the Bajrang Dal was at the top of its list and it should be actually banned. And that, viewers, gave the BJP ostensibly an opportunity to hit back at the Congress. I think that's really what, Tehseen, you're talking about, isn't it? So let's play out that, and then I want to bring in Tom Vadakkan of the BJP to react on that. Get out.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताने में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताने में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है। यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है।
महाभारत में जब अर्जुन को तीर मारनी थी तो सिर्फ मछली की आंख देखता था, उसको और कुछ नहीं दिखता था। सीधे निशाना मारता था, सीधे ऊपर देखते थे और उस निशाने से उनका ध्यान बिल्कुल नहीं हटता था। तो मेरी बहनों और मेरे भाइयों, कर्नाटका के अर्जुन बन जाओ।
प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा है कि जब आप बूथ में जाएंगे वोट करने के लिए, आप जय बजरंग बली बोल के वोट कीजिए। तो मैं उसके ऊपर ये रिएक्शन, प्राइम मिनिस्टर को ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए था। प्राइम मिनिस्टर मुल्क का प्राइम मिनिस्टर होता है, इस प्राइम मिनिस्टर फॉर। अब अगर एक बूथ में आप किसको कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं? आप जब लोग जोर जोर से पुकारते रहेंगे, 10 आदमी बूथ में रहते हैं, आप जोर जोर से पुकारते रहेंगे तो एक दो माइनॉरिटी गए तो उनको डर का माहौल होता है ना। तो इलेक्शन कमीशन को मैं बोला, इलेक्शन कमीशन इसको नोट में लेना चाहिए।
कांग्रेस के पूरे घोषणा पत्र में क्या लिखा है? ये वापस ले लेंगे, ये हटा देंगे, वो निरस्त कर देंगे, उसे रोक देंगे, इस पर प्रतिबंध लगा देंगे। ये कर्नाटका की जनता को ये देने वाले हैं, यही इनका फोकस है। और अब तो कांग्रेस की हालत इतनी बुरी है, उनके पैर कांप रहे हैं।
All right, let's bring in Tom Vadakkan of the BJP and Dr. Anand Ranganathan as well. Tom Vadakkan, do you think that ultimately it was Bajrang Bali who gave you that little bit of a push in the end, but is that going to be enough? Most of the analysts so far don't quite see thing. So most of them, not all.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank the voters of Karnataka who have come out and voted. This is a victory of democracy. This is the festival of democracy, and we thank them all for coming out and having a peaceful exercise, and they have voted. Now, as to the question of the Bajrang Dal and the manifesto that was drafted, I don't think there's much of questions to be raised. It's typical of the Congress to create issues, change goalposts from time to time. They were talking about local issues and they flew to Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali and what have you. This is the kind of situation which Congress digs its own, I wouldn't call it a grave, but creates its own problems. And they've been doing it regularly. And which party would not utilize this opportunity to fly over them and do the carpet bombing, which is what we did? I mean, it's natural. Anybody would do that. And Bajrang Dal, if Hanumanji is with us, I don't think there's much of a problem in sorting out this election issue, because people of Karnataka have proved beyond doubt.
Very quick rebuttal from Tehseen Poonawalla, then Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Which one do you think is going to be the deciding issue?
Tom, I'm very glad that you can do carpet bombing, and I'm glad that Lord Hanuman is with you as he's with the rest of the country. Could you please tell us, why didn't you take Lord Hanuman's blessings and look at Manipur, which was burning, and the Honorable Prime Minister in Karnataka doing carpet bombing, in your own words? Don't you think you have a moral responsibility towards this country? And I challenge you on national TV. I challenge you in front of Rahul and Padmaja. Tell me another instance in the history of this country. Article 355 was evoked without Article 356. Tell me that's what you have to do in Manipur. Don't you think that the Honorable Home Minister should have been some answerability to the media rather than
double engine,
or failed engine, corrupt engine, broken down engine.
So that's what you're trying to say. Okay, so
the engine that Germany showed in the cartoon.
You took such a long route to get to the double engine point. I thought maybe one of the engines that failed. Engine. Okay, let me.
He was going up the Karjat Ghat to Pune.
Mr. Ranganathan, look, two issues we framed.
Which doesn't have banker engines, by the way.
The one that we haven't still talked about is defections, but two issues we framed. Corruption and, well, whatever you want to call the Bajrang Dal. Some people are calling it a communal issue. Some people are saying, no, it's about identity, it's core, this, that, the other, and this was an absolute assault on Hindu rights and this, that, the other. Where's the election here?
Yeah, good evening, first of all, Padmaja and Rahul and everyone else out here. I'm shocked by my good friend Tehseen and the numbers that he's quoted. First of all, I mean, people have been asking me to quote the numbers of seats. I'm not going to quote the seats.
Tehseen is peering into your phone. He knows you're going to do a 30-second readout of figures now. He is quietly peering into your phone.
Is this a Karnataka or China one?
Okay, go on.
If it was from China, then it would have been through the one who knows the Chinese ambassador. But anyway, I'm not going to quote the numbers. I'm just going to quote the new resorts that have come up near the airport. And one of them is actually, believe it or not, the Poonawalla resort. Now, I don't know whether that's, now he's nodding his head. Now, is he going to be party agnostic? Are the BJP MLAs as well as JDS MLAs going to be sequesters there? That is, I leave it on Tehseen. But he's been preposterous. He has a figure, admittedly, as many of the opposite sex, but I have figures. Let me deal with figures. Now, there is good news, there is bad news. Which do you want me to tell first?
Good news. Good news always.
Good news. Good news is, as far as the economy is concerned, as far as the welfare schemes that the BJP has launched in Karnataka concerned, it's hit the mark. If you were to talk about the FDI, there's a threefold FDI jump in the last 5 years. If you want to talk about the GSDP per capita, it was 1.8 lakhs 5 years ago. Today it's 3.02 lakhs. Inflation has remained below national average all through the last 5 years. The average educational attainment has increased by 3.7 years. That's unprecedented. Karnataka has grown 2 percentage points above the national average in the last 5 years. That's the good news. Yeah. Welfare, 3.7 million Ujjwala beneficiaries, 4.8 million toilets, 4.3 million tap water connections, 4.2 million Ayushman, infra, 2 airports to 9 airports, 600% jump in railway budget, Bangalore Metro 175 kilometers approved, so many. But negatives, corruption. Let's be very honest, this previous BJP government was formed because of corruption. Let's be very honest about it. It managed to run because of corruption. For heaven's sake, there was a Congress minister, Mr. Anand Singh, and the BJP blocked roads and did dharnas to have him arrested. He changed switch parties. He was almost convicted for 13 forest crime charges. When he switched to BJP, BJP made him the forest minister. And as just said, almost 40% of BJP ministers haven't got the ticket. He's one of them. So he hasn't got the ticket this time.
But do you think, Anand, it is a big enough issue to drive away BJP voters?
So now this is the $1 million or however many dollar question is, you are going to balance what the public perception of corruption is versus the economy doing well of Karnataka. And Tehseen is absolutely wrong about inflation, as I've quoted the figures about the GDP per capita and welfare scheme. So I leave it to the people to decide, but please do not forget the caste factor.
But you know, it's a funny thing, because I was reading one of these sort of impressionistic pieces that usually are written by people who suddenly para-drop and say, okay, let's see now what's happening in Karnataka. The other day in one of the newspapers, and they said, oh, well, you know, the good thing is that the government, while it might take, that's his point of view, delivers.
Yes.
And this really takes me back to the 2000 election in Tamil Nadu.
Correct.
Actually, where the DMK was doing a very good job while it was in power. There were a large number of schools that had suddenly got computers, this, that, the other. When the election happened, J. Jayalalitha came back. And remember, J. Jayalalitha at that time was under a cloud. So governance, sometimes, you know, the way we look at it and the way people look at it, because there's still a larger patronage, my baap, sarkar, expectation.
That's the Jane Bhi Do Yaro motto. You know,
that's
thoda
what
khao,
brings
thoda
me,
pheko.
but that's what brings me to the caste. Yeah. And that's really the unspoken, you know, equation here.
One thing to what Mr. Anand
very quickly,
about.
I want to bring in Mr.
2.0,
Gowda also.
Tehseen was talking about unemployment as an issue. Karnataka has got 2.5% unemployment. It is one of the lowest in the country. And what are they talking about? Priyanka Gandhi coming and saying that I will give 3,500 rupees per family or per youth. This was the promise given by TRS government in 2018. They have not implemented till today. They promised 3,016 rupees for every unemployed youth. Given in December 2018. Congress manifesto is just a bundle of cut, copy, paste. They have copied from Aam Aadmi Party, from DMK Party, which promised 1,000 rupees per women, and they promised in Himachal Pradesh that they would give unemployment allowance, or for that matter for the women. They have not given. So it is a bundle of lies which Congress has given, and people of Karnataka would know, and they have spoken.
Okay, so talk is cheap, as is commonly said, and so are making promises till the time that you're in a position to deliver on those promises. Let me come across to you, Mr. Gowda, because BJP, Congress are, in opposite directions here. According to the JDS, what will be the decider issue for you?
As far as JDS party is concerned, we are the people, and our leader, former Chief Minister Kumaraswamy, is known for his keeping his words. Because whenever he come to power, he has kept up his words. Our manifesto, 2018 manifesto, was that if we come to power.
Let me rephrase my question. Name me one issue which you think is capable of swinging the election in your favor. One issue, one.
We are very much confident this 2023 elections or for the regional party will going to form the government, because people of Karnataka have seen both the national parties how they have.
Jay wants to challenge you on that point.
Mr. Gowda, I'm just reading from
both the national parties.
I'm just reading from the Times of India portal. At 6:15, Mr. Kumaraswamy has given a statement to the TOI portal that JDS will suffer a setback in 25 winnable seats due to funds crunch. Is that not almost an admission of defeat? I mean, here's a former chief minister saying some 25 winnable seats we are going to suffer a setback due to a funds and a resources crunch. I mean, does that, is that congruent to what you're saying, that we are on the way to victory, the people have responded? There's some, there's something missing there.
Okay.
Mr. Jay, ask him also.
One second, let him respond.
Chief Minister Kumaraswamy will always go go on to reality, but that doesn't mean that it is not going to stop us from forming the government, because Kumaraswamy's effort and he has given the program, common programs to the people of Karnataka, which is reachable to the common people.
ये थोड़ा सा out of syllabus आपने सवाल पूछा, तो slightly out of syllabus question to Mr. Gowda, to be fair. I think you also want to do.
I just want to ask him, how many seats are they planning to win in Mysuru, Mandya? Because they swept 7, and I can tell you, my data tells if they win 2, it will be miracle. They can win 1. And in Chennapatna, what's happening? Does the 25 seats include Chennapatna also?
Okay, look, 4 minutes to go to the first projection, and just want to ask our team to put out on the grid the latest turnout figures, so we get a bit of a sense of what's really happening on the ground. In the meantime, the Congress's Mr. Mecca warming up to the debate. Mr. Mecca, simple, very straightforward question. Tehseen Poonawala in our studio, close observer of Congress politics, says that you lost the plot in the last 2 weeks by deviating from what was really the only issue. Is this going to cost you? And were you trying to polarize?
I don't think so. So what I have seen is Congress for a change has shed its laid-back attitude and put in an organized campaign. Every leader is there. Everybody stuck to the actual
Mr. Mecca,
agenda.
that's very well. I'm asking you a straightforward question. The question was, what prompted you to play around with the central message by deviating and picking up something that would only appeal to a particular section of the voter? Was it panic? Was it a desperate tactic? Were you perhaps seeing yourself falling back? That's the question. Why would anyone want to deviate from what presumably was going to be the winning formula?
No, we did not deviate. BJP was clutching at the straws, and then they made issues of non-issues. That's what has happened.
How is it a non-issue, sir? It's in your manifesto. Do you put non-issues into your manifesto? Because if that's the case, then the manifesto, let's just throw it away. It's just a non-issue. It's in your manifesto, sir.
Let us see. I think that it's not an issue as far as the election is concerned. The issues in the election are different. It's
So are you
it's
saying
not
that,
about communal
are you
issues.
saying
I
that
don't
the
think it's an issue.
BJP talking about the Maryada of Bajrangis in the state of Karnataka is a non-issue? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, because Bajrang Bali and Bajrang Dal are not the same.
Okay.
Right? People know that.
Okay. Dr. Ranganathan wants to respond.
Yeah, I think time has come for India to grow out of constantly beating this communal issue drum. For me, there is no such thing as a communal issue. And I can go on and on about this. I can prove it to you that if at all there is a community of people who have been discriminated against in this country, all governments, including the BJP, they are the Hindus. And as I say, they are 8th class citizens in this country. So please, let's not talk about communal issues. But I want to take Tehseen on one thing when he says Congress has learned how to win states. Nothing could be further than the truth, because what Congress is doing is, it might be winning states, for example, Himachal, but it's taking the country backwards. It is negating everything that was there in its manifesto. And it has realized that if it holds true to what is there in its manifesto, it will take the country forward, but it will not win. I talk about the old pension scheme, I talk about the farm bill. So, sorry Tehseen, Congress by winning states is taking India backwards. Disprove me.
Absolutely disprove you.
How?
You know a gentleman called Veerendra Fadnavis? BJP blue-eyed boy of the RSS. Please Google check and fact check me. He said if anyone can put the old pension scheme back in the country, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party. Please tell me Devendra Fadnavis should not be speaking that. That is what the Maharashtra BJP is doing. Farm laws. The farm law reforms are brought in by the Congress. Did the Congress ask you to remove the essential commodities? It's not about the farm laws. And I'm asking you one question. If the Congress was bad, why did the most powerful man in the universe, the most honorable Prime Minister, take it back? That is also the Congress's fault. Who was the Prime Minister to take it back? Who was the Prime Minister to take it back? The Prime Minister brought in a law. He took it back. Why did the Prime Minister pass a law without the consent of the Rajya Sabha through a voice vote? So the question is, everything that the BJP does is not kosher, my friend. The fact is the BJP is continuously violating the constitution, and therefore we are raising our voices. We are raising our voices for the people of this country.
We've gone beyond the point of where, whether this is going to be bought up by the voters. That discussion is done. I gently want to point out that Mr. Meka of the Congress just said that the Congress has shed its laid-back attitude for a change and is getting its act together. And for Mr. Meka to be saying that is very generous. For a change, they've shed their laid-back attitude, he says. Very let me...
No. Something wrong with the grid at the bottom. Can we remove that grid, please? Something very wrong with that grid. At the bottom, please. Can we remove the grid?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's just get that grid sorted. And it is already now, Padmaja, 6:30.
Yeah.
So we can actually begin to show some of our first projections. And we have a countdown to it. Let's go with the countdown. Is that ready? 65.69% right now, viewers, the turnout till 5 p.m. Are we ready to go? 4 seconds, 3 seconds, well, 2, 1, and let's see which is the first projection coming out of, I think, coastal Karnataka. That's it on your screens, viewers. Coastal Karnataka, the exit poll ETG Times Now projection, that's the seat projection, Padmaja, out of 19 in coastal Karnataka. The BJP, well, certainly the Bajrang...
It's exactly the same as last time. So
exactly.
actually, I don't think we can put this down to the Bajrang Dal effect.
No,
this is a BJP stronghold. It is one of the areas, incidentally, which has got a very
But we can't ignore the fact that this is an upper caste bastion also, where there has been, of course, a lot of communal strife in the past. And
not only
the
that,
BJP has talked a lot about communal issues here.
It is one of the original mobilization areas of the RSS.
Yes.
Even Uma Bharti, her guru is a follower of the Pejwar Mutt in Udupi.
Yeah.
So there is a deep connection between the RSS overall working and the coastal Karnataka.
I mean, the hijab, the halal, the love jihad, all these issues have always found instant resonance here.
Hijab, halal, love jihad has captured the imagination or has got into the mind space of the state narrative now. But if you go back to, even in the 90s, where there used to be bombings in Bombay and then a dawn would be located in Bhatkal, which is in coastal Karnataka. So for them, like, they've been living with the narrative for about 20 years. So it's the old stronghold.
Old stronghold. There you can see, viewers. That's the map, really, isn't it, of Karnataka?
Yeah. So if you could just quickly take this on the LED, maybe we can actually explain there what is the importance of this particular area, and then get JVC in also to talk to us about what he saw in this area. Now, this incidentally is Uttar Kannada, Dakshin Kannada and Udupi.
Yeah.
Like we said, this is a place which has got a very strong RSS presence.
Yeah.
What is also interesting is that you have a couple of seats here where the Congress is almost unshakable, and Mangalore, which most people would think being the most famous in coastal Karnataka, is a Congress bastion. UT Khadar from there is almost unshakable. Talk us through the other important points we should note about coastal Karnataka.
Yeah, I'll just nuance a little bit. So there are 3 seats. One is a seat just called Mangalore, where UT Khadar is unshakable.
Yeah.
But there's a Mangalore City North and a Mangalore City South, which between 2008 and 18, Congress, BJP both, again 13 both Congress, 18 both come back to the BJP. In 13, when the Congress wins, incidentally, both are minority candidates. One is a Muslim, the other is a Christian. It's very interesting. This is one region which connects right up to Bombay with its commercial linkages. So you see, Moga Viras are present in large numbers here. There is a Moga Vira bank, substantial number of branches in Mumbai as well.
Yeah.
So business connects to Bombay and a strong RSS presence.
And JVC, yes, go on. What is also important is that even though the SDPI has fielded people, keep sitting, and just talk to us from there. Even though the SDPI has fielded, I think about how many seats have they fielded people in coastal Karnataka?
In coastal Karnataka, I think around 12.
Yeah, but none of them. So according to the figures that we have, they are not making much of a headway at all. Why do you think that is?
See, because I think the Muslims there vote for who is going to win. So artifacts, they may love SDPI, but who can beat BJP in coastal Karnataka? They still believe Congress can only beat BJP, as a result of which they vote. And also in the last few days, SDPI has also extended support to the Congress. Because we have been speaking from day one that SDPI in the beginning wants to contest 90 to 120 seats, but they negotiate, bring it down, and that's what has happened.
Actually, at the beginning...
in Puttur, I think there is a change of candidate.
Yes.
And there is
Mr. Angara has been replaced with Bhagirathi Murulia, who's from the SC left.
And Puttur also has a very strong BJP rebel who is contesting because he was quite a favorite in that area. So you've got a very strong BJP rebel. But that being said, they have still managed to hold on to exactly the same tally. Not really much of a surprise this time around.
Well, it's a very positive sort of start for the Bharatiya Janata Party, at least when it comes to coastal Karnataka. Any surprises here? Let's just go straight across to the Congress there. Do we still have the Congress? Okay, Tehseen, this is not supposed to be the result that you're sort of anticipating. I mean, this is an area that has seen in the past a lot of destitution. We know because we've seen the indicators. You say that, oh, this is a rejection. Bharat Jodo is, a rejection of the politics of hate, communalism, this, that, polarization. Well, the BJP doesn't seem to have been dented in the least.
No, so coastal Karnataka is their strong point in these 19 seats, but I do see that.
But if you're going to win an election, you have to ensure that you make dents in their strongholds.
I am putting my money on my mouth, and this will come out. The Congress will have a higher vote percentage in Karnataka overall, and coastal Karnataka, the Congress will end up with higher seats than what it got last time, which means the Congress will gain right now in the BJP.
So you're disregarding the poll right now?
Right now, the poll is saying 16 and 3. I am putting my mouth at 12 and 7. 12 for BJP, 7 for
There's
Congress.
a Rajniti number also. There's a Rajniti poll that...
what is this?
Let's have a look at the Rajniti poll, if we can try and pull that one out. Do we have that? There you have, a poll of polls. There's a Rajniti poll that I'm told. Well, that's again showing the BJP at 13 and the Congress at 6.
13, 6, I said 12,
so, and the mean there is 14. That's hardly a... I'm only asking. Rahul Gandhi invested a lot of time and energy. Your leaders have talked a lot about the BJP's sort of fear-mongering, using, slogans, weaponizing them, this, that, the other.
Look,
this doesn't seem to be...
expecting 16 and they end up with 13 or 12. It's a loss for the BJP because the Congress is going to gain in other parts of...
If you talk about this area,
the Congress, I think 7 is fantastic, and Jay will bear testimony. If the Congress gets 7 in coastal Karnataka, I think it's great, and I think the Congress will. And if that happens, I think you're going to see the Congress cost the 40%.
But hang on, let's test this out. No, one second. Let's just, 1 second. In 2008, the Congress had 7.
7, yeah.
In 2013, it had 13.
Yeah.
And in 2018, it came down to 3.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the gain, right?
So,
I think a gain from 2018.
No, but the jinx is, if the Congress does well there like two...
Not 3. No, the gain will be from 2018, and it'll gain of 4 seats. I'm calling 4 seats.
Tell me what happened between 2013 and 18 then. From 13 it went down to 3.
Of course the Congress
what
happened?
Why?
Of course there was anti-incumbency. Of course there was anti-incumbency against Congress. But the Congress was the highest vote percentage in the whole state of Karnataka in 2018. It got a higher vote percentage than Karnataka. Seat conversion, BJP was more, but the Congress was a higher vote percentage.
Let me ask you a straight question. Do you think in that belt?
That's because Teshin, in places like Bagepalli in old Mysuru region, BJP hardly got 3%, 4%. Even in a place in Mandya, they got 6.5%. And I can tell you, in Mandya, BJP is winning. In Bagepalli, which got 2.45% in 2019, Modi ji. And now Bagepalli.
Lok Sabha with Assembly.
That's fine. That's
How
fine.
are you comparing?
So
I am comparing 18 to 19, sir.
What happened, Teshin, is between 2018 and 2023, BJP has grown phenomenally. JDS supporters have said, in old Mysore region, BJP did not have booth agents.
Okay,
but today there are.
We won't go to old Mysuru just yet. In coastal Karnataka, we've seen two figures now. Mr. Sriram, we've seen one of Rajniti, one of the Times Now exit poll. Which one do you think is closer? Is
16-3. Worst came worst, it'll be 15-4. It cannot go below that.
Why do you say that?
Because
they've got rebellions there. And another interesting anecdote, coastal Karnataka is the one where BJP has changed maximum of their sitting MLAs.
Why?
6 out of 16.
Yes.
The last election they had 16. 6 of them have been changed. In no other region has such a large number of sitting MLAs been changed. So clearly there are problems there.
Because one thing is, wherever BJP is extremely strong, I think, this is what this is what I read as an analyst, is that Mr. Modi believes that UP, he changed. He changed a lot of MLA candidates. Gujarat, wholesome change. So coastal Karnataka, they are really
mentioned Gujarat because the region where he changed the maximum, which is Saurashtra, is also the one where they had the maximum gains.
Okay, some interesting updates coming in on poll of polls, and we're going to start putting them out on our grid, the poll of polls. So there you have in coastal Karnataka the India Today Axis number. I think that's what it is at the bottom. Yeah, coastal Karnataka. So they've the India Today Axis seems to also have been sort of pretty much along ETG lines, 16,300. Yeah. So that's another. But I just want to give you some overall numbers. Matriz Z News. Now we're being told that they have put out all their numbers.
Okay. Yeah.
And the BJP, according to Matriz agency, is going to get between 79 to 94. The Congress 103 to 118. The JDS 25 to 33. Others 2 to 5. So that's the Matriz poll. Z News is playing out. There are other polls also. Let me quickly go. There is
there's Jan Ki Baat.
There's a Jan Ki Baat poll, and there is also PMark exit poll that is being put out. PMark is putting Congress at 94 to 108, BJP 85 to 100, JDS 24 to 32, others 2 and 6. So
you know, this is so crazy that we've got opinion exit polls which are polar opposite. So Jan Ki Baat is saying that BJP will get between 94 to 117, Congress will get between 91 to 106, and Matriz is saying the exact opposite. They are giving Congress that much number up till about 180, and the BJP they have kept just a little below 100. Have you ever seen in recent history so much difference between exit polls for the same state?
No, I'll give. Now, I don't know whether people are really following cephalological methodology or not, but I have a data-based qualifier for it, so I'll give the qualifier out. Now, if you look at the normal margin of error in the poll is about 3%, okay, which means 6% of the votes here and there total. Now, if you look at Karnataka, the 6% of the votes here and there, it goes to about 37 seats. Okay, so that means you can place one party at 78, say a tally like 80, and say that with a margin error of 3%, you can say the same party can get 110. Okay, so everybody has tried to play at the fag ends of the margin of error range.
Okay, let's quickly get political opinions now. Tom Vadakkar, Mr. Shyam Prasad Meka, what do you make of the first coastal Karnataka? Mr. Meka, you go first.
Yeah, I think coastal Karnataka, as expected, it's a stronghold of BJP. But at the same time, I'm a bit surprised when you said 16-3. I expect Congress to do slightly better than that. About 6 or 7 seats is what we have been anticipating. With an overall vote percentage of about 42 to 45. That's the anticipation from as far as Congress is concerned. But let's see. Let's move to the other regions.
Yes, okay. Hang on. We're all cherry picking. You just want to move to another region because it doesn't suit your sort of your outlook. But that's not the way. Shekhar here, let's have a quick chat about the overall numbers that some other poll surveys are projecting. The TV9 Pollstrat exit poll seems to put the BJP at 104. 88 to 98. Sorry, 88 to 98. The Congress 99 to 109, JDS 21 to 26. We're just going to put out those numbers on our DV window full frame also. But this is TV9 Pollstrat, viewers. 88 to 98, 99 to 109 for Congress, JDS 21, 26. As I was saying, viewers, the Matriz poll is also out there. The Matriz poll seems to be also in the same neighborhood. The BJP 79, 94, Congress 103, 118. So clearly showing the Congress inching close to a simple majority. JDS 25, 33, others 25. So, Shekhar, do you believe this is an election for the Congress to lose?
No, this was an election which was the best election for the Congress, no doubt about it. If the figures, if exit polls continue to give that kind of lead for the Congress, it's not surprising. But the question is, how much have they, lost some sheen in the last few days following the Prime Minister's foray into Karnataka, following other issues that have come up. Now, coastal Karnataka is not at all a surprise, and Congress was not bothered about coastal Karnataka also. But in the other areas, you see, I find one figure seems to be maybe close to reality, the figures that all of them are projecting for Janata Dal Secular. Because you cannot write off Janata Dal Secular, particularly in old Mysuru areas. If they get anywhere between 25 to 35, that's a figure they are looking at to play whatever king's role they want to play or kingmaker's role they want to play. But as far as BJP is concerned, in fact, they were doing very badly, 3-4 weeks ago. They themselves knew that things were very bad. If they have managed to inch towards the 100 figure, maybe if they're coming closer to 80 or 85, I think they would think it is, in fact, things have improved. So therefore, I think it's for the Congress, it's how many seats are they going to lose?
All right, yes, quickly, Jay.
There's just one point, Rahul. The point which I was making to Rahul and you earlier, the Congress is experiencing a declining peak phenomena. Okay. Now, the last time in 1999, Mr. Krishna forms the government, it's 41% votes, 132 seats. The next time they have the chief minister of their own in 2013 again, it's 37% votes and 122 seats. Now, everybody is talking in the range of 105, 108. I mean, the Congress, their peaks are declining, not only their vote shares, also their seat shares. Yeah, that should be a matter of concern for the Indian National Congress.
But the vote percentage seems to be in the 40s. But because the margin could be the margin game, that they win by a larger margin, but they lose by a smaller margin. Therefore, the seat conversion is not happening.
Let's just quickly
but
focus.
JDS is consistent at 20s.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Consistent at 20s. Well, the coastal numbers so far, viewers, the coastal numbers are putting the BJP ahead. And you can look up on top. If you have a look quickly on top, viewers, at the top band of this channel, you'll see that for coastal Karnataka, we're projecting, that is the Times Now ETG survey is projecting, the BJP at 16, the Congress at 3, the JDS 0 at this moment. So this really fundamentally is where the Times Now ETG survey is at. Of course, we're going to show you region by region as we go beyond, viewers, into other regions in the next 5 or 6 minutes. But fundamentally also at the bottom of your screens, you're seeing other projections from other pollsters, which are giving you overall numbers. The Z 114, Congress 86, that's the mean of that. So that clearly shows that the BJP is closer to forming a government, on the 13th than perhaps anyone else. There are also, of course, others that don't seem to be giving that much of an advantage to the BJP, in fact, putting the Congress closer.
So maybe we should go on to the next region now.
Let's
We've
have a
already
look at the
addressed.
next region.
We've addressed coastal Karnataka.
Yeah.
Now, what's the next region that we are going to look at? We are going to look at central, which is Kendriya Karnataka, and here the BJP is at 92. The Congress is ahead here.
That's not at 92. That's actually the overall numbers for another poll.
All right.
So
overall numbers. Let's take a look at
in the next 10 seconds. In the next 10 seconds, we'll put a countdown, and we are going to go with that.
Now let's tell our viewers. Yeah. So why is Central Karnataka important?
Yeah.
Central Karnataka is the Lingayat stronghold, and this essentially is going to be JVC a test.
A great amount of the mining belt is there.
Absolutely.
So Yediyurappa comes from there.
Yeah, so you've got one, the test of Mr. Yediyurappa. Yeah. Two, how much are the Bellari brothers going to really be able to influence the election?
Absolutely.
The Reddy vote, all of those factors are going to come.
And one more thing, Davangere, I don't know that Jay has tracked it. Davangere is one place where BJP is weakened. In this election, Madhya Karnataka, I personally believe that their numbers will not be like what it was in 2018. I don't know whether your numbers are reflecting that, because I think they peaked in Madhya Karnataka with around 21 or 22 seats in 2018. So they are bound to, they should suffer losses here.
Now,
but how much are they suffering?
No. So here we have the numbers. The BJP seemingly, let's take a look at those numbers very quickly for Madhya Karnataka. It seems that the BJP has gone down
from 21 to 17.
Exactly.
You're right.
And that could come from Davangere district. Because in other places they will hold. And also we need to see at Shimoga, if denying ticket to Ishwarappa, has it dented anywhere? I don't think so.
Absolutely. Okay. There are two upsets we are looking at in Shimoga. I mean, not upsets, I'm saying keen contest.
Right.
One is the denial of ticket to Mr. Ishwarappa's son, Kantesh.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other is against Mr. Yediyurappa's own son. There's a Raju Gowda, an independent, who has a sizable backing.
Right.
So these are two keen contests we are tracking there.
He was the
PA. Right.
He was the PA earlier on. But the Prime Minister called up Ishwarappa, and the PMO then made that call public. And I think that sort of made that ended
But still
the
they're
sentiment.
bound to suffer,
Because
but
they're
they're probably suffering to 4 or 5 seats. That's fine. Expected.
Why do you think this the major factor is Mr. Ishwarappa is the major factor for losses?
No, one more thing. Davangere, I think there is something which has happened in Davangere. When the results come out, we need to look at the Davangere around probably 8 seats are there in Davangere.
8 seats.
Okay, I don't think they would cross 3 or 4.
No, Davangere is a contribution of multitude of factors.
Right.
One is it's actually an old mill town. A lot of the mills have closed down. There's unemployment due to that. Davangere is also at the boundary, at the edges of the mining hinterland. Harpanahalli and all those seats are the mining seats. So I think there is going to be some sort of a setback, as you rightly said. So we should look closely at Davangere and at Shimoga.
Yes.
All right. So here we have now the poll of polls, which is right on your screens right now. We've got all the different polls, Matrice, P-Mark, and we've got a third poll of ETG. We've got News Nation poll over there. Just take a look. So Matrice 114, P-Mark 92. The News Nation 114, that's as far as the BJP column is concerned. And News Nation and Matrice is exactly the same for the Congress.
So maybe Matrice did it for Z and News Nation. Maybe the same agency that did it for.
Okay.
Or maybe everyone's poaching. Or maybe everyone is taking each other's
Chinese whispers.
Chinese whispers.
It seems very
that seems to be
What is also interesting in across poll of polls, and it's a small observation, but you've got parties like Aam Aadmi Party wading in this time. You've got, the SDPI, but they don't really seem to have made much of a mark.
I don't know what happened to Aam Aadmi Party till the month of February. They were doing pretty well. Trucks were arranged, everything was ready. But once Manish Sisodia went inside.
Listen, there's a little bit of. Wait, hang on.
Times now.
No, Tehseen, don't make it sound like this. Don't make it sound as if we're doing seasonal for Congress.
There's a little bit of over glorification. Okay, there's only. Of all the reports that I've gone through, there's only one AP candidate that seems to be somewhat serious. That is in Roan in Gadag district. That's the only one who's somewhat serious. Rest is all fun.
Okay, so very quickly, let's just quickly look at the overall numbers once. Let's not confuse our viewers. Viewers, we've called out, at least times now, ETG survey has called out 2 regions. It's 8 minutes to 7 o'clock, and we are in 2 regions, coastal Karnataka and central Karnataka. Coastal Karnataka seems to be giving the BJP a huge lead, according to the ETG survey. In central Karnataka, the BJP, let's have a look at Central Karnataka. There you see it, viewers. Central Karnataka, that's Coastal Karnataka 16, but let's get to Central. Yes, that's right. That's Central Karnataka. The BJP at 17, the Congress at 9. And what we're going to do now, it's a simple maths. The top grid, we are going to add up. So we have the total numbers going in the top grid, so not the region by region, because we are showing the region by region right there in the middle. And at the bottom, viewers, just to get this simple and straightforward, we're also putting out other agency total numbers. So this is how the screen is shaped. The top is an addition of the overall numbers that ETG is giving out with Times Now. In the middle of your screen, we are giving you the region by region breakup. And at the bottom of your screens, viewers, we are giving you the poll of polls that are being put out by different agencies. Absolutely. So you get a full view. And I hope that we are being able to follow that protocol. So I just want to ask a very basic and simple question now. You look at these numbers, the exit poll numbers, and you do the math, and the BJP in 2 regions seems to be quite ahead. Quite ahead. Are we surprised in these 2 regions, Central especially, where there were these big Lingayat leaders that have sort of walked out of the tent, the BJP is still holding on?
Well, Central is a little surprising because the mining hinterland and Mr. Reddy has also floated his own party to cut votes. So I'm a little surprised by Central, but not by Coastal. I wouldn't be surprised by Coastal. I wouldn't be surprised by the results of Mumbai, Karnataka. They are regions which were the foremost in going towards the BJP. So we do expect good results even in Mumbai, Karnataka. That's Kittur, Karnataka.
Okay, so you are expecting good results even there?
In Kittur, Karnataka.
Okay. Let me just quickly, straight away, go through the Congress. Is the Congress here with us? Okay, Mr. Meka, clearly taking in people who are from the BJP, even though they belong to the Lingayats, especially, Mr. Shettar hasn't really given you the bump that you were expecting.
So based on your poll, you might be saying so. But the thing is, we did not take those leaders for any specific outcomes of Lingayat vote. They are senior enough, they have enough experience, and they need to be taken. We took that. But what we are banking on is, just like in any other sections of Karnataka, Lingayats are also strongly this time are looking for the change, and there is this hawa for Badlav. That's there in the state, and that's what we think is going to push Congress into power. Not any one leader or one community. 2 regions,
no hawa. So where's the Badlav? I'm not seeing. Let's see. Okay, saying it's still up. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. I think, both the regions which we have seen, I think Coastal and Madhya Karnataka, both these regions are the BJP strongholds. And I think Mr. Yediyurappa has worked in 2023 elections more than what he had worked in 2018. Because, for obvious reasons. But it was this push. And so as a result of which, I can see the stamp of Mr. Yediyurappa in Madhya Karnataka. Otherwise, they would have probably, that number would have been 12 or 13.
Well, let's also look at the Rajniti poll for Central. Let's have a look at the Rajniti poll for Central. That'll be interesting to see, because now remember also, viewers, that a large number of these polls, their agencies have categorized these regions differently from each other. So you'll have a variation in number of seats, etc. But we've tried to minimize that, haven't we?
So the Rajniti poll is giving 16 to the BJP and 10 to the Congress. That's as far as the Rajniti poll. So they're giving more of an advantage to the BJP.
One seat advantage to Congress and 1 seat less to BJP.
It has to be said that most people, as far as Mr. Yediyurappa is concerned, Anand, it was being said that, it is major sidelining of Mr. Yediyurappa. Till the last moment, it wasn't even decided whether his son is going to get Shikaripura, etc. Matlab, Lingayats are going to large-scale migrate from the BJP purely from his bastion. That doesn't seem to be the case.
I think there are 2 issues here, and I have a little bit of a different take than what Tessin and others have. I think we have to factor in the possibility that, especially in the case of Central Karnataka, Congress is doing better. BJP hasn't done as well, of course, as you mentioned. Yediyurappa has campaigned much more vociferously this time than last time. But the fact is, this, in terms of the welfare schemes and the benefits to people, that has happened previously. So what happens is, there are issues other than toilets, other than electricity, other than Ayushman that have cropped up, and that kind of muddies the waters. You know what I mean? If you give a toilet to a person, a ghar to a person, that person will, in the image, is that, well, you know, my baap has given me this, I'm going to vote. But if that person already has it, then a new issue crops up. So I think, at least in central issue, I think, I might be wrong, but I think that's my varied take.
You know, Padmaja, one more thing about this Yedurappa factor. You know, C.T. Ravi said that tickets will not be decided on anyone's breakfast table. Amit Shah ji went to Yedurappa's house for breakfast and tickets were decided there. So you have to understand, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to say something else. I'm trying to say, you know, don't interrupt me. I'm trying to say something very important.
Tickets are decided by the parliamentary board, not by Mr. Yedurappa's house.
Political point, allow me to make the political, don't interrupt me. I'm trying to say that Yedurappa ji was accommodated. The BJP went beyond its brief to accommodate Yedurappa ji. Yedurappa ji should, as per the BJP policy, not be in the parliamentary party. He's in the parliamentary party. They went to his house. The fact of the matter. Come on. Congress party is giving tickets. Come on. You can't even stand. You don't trust to vote. Not trust to vote. He can't even stand. And that kind of person you are giving MLA ticket. I understand. Come on, boss, give me a break. But relax, I'm praising Yedurappa, not going against. So please relax, hear me out. Be calm. What I'm trying to say, we are not used to you praising anybody in the BJP. So pardon. At least here, don't get so hyper. Good evening. It's a stupid hyper. What I'm saying is, I'm making another point. Can you hear me out? I'm saying that the BJP has gone beyond its brief with Yedurappa ji, and that's taking Padmaja's point forward. Yedurappa ji, without doubt, like Siddaramaiah ji, was the tallest leader. I think the BJP has got him in, and that factor of the Lingayat vote not going the way the Congress expected, I think has played a very pivotal role. I think that also is credit to the BJP leadership that has been flexible in understanding where it's been. You got to be a balance in your analysis. No, I'm being balanced in my analysis, and I don't expect you to start.
He praised Mr. Yedurappa. Then he said all credit to BJP leadership.
This is an election for Congress to win.
Tehseen. 1 minute. No. The question that arises now.
What's your problem?
Tehseen Poonawala, are you the second Poonawala who's looking for a BJP ticket now?
I will never go to the BJP. I am saying this was an election for the Congress.
You are praising the BJP.
No, see, you have to understand that Congress should have been at 125 today. If they are struggling.
You said 135 the last time we debated. And then you scaled it down to 125. How much are you scaling it down to today?
So I feel the Congress will still be single largest.
Okay, now you're down to single largest.
108 to 110, but the problem in 108 to 110 for the Congress is the governor and ED will come into play. And I think the Congress, of course it will come into play. And you know what I know. ED is the state ka thodi hota. And the problem in that is, the Congress should have focused on 115 plus. It got deviated, and that to me is upsetting for the.
So who's responsible for that? Sorry, Navika. Who's responsible for that narrative?
Say the name.
Tell the name.
Say the name.
No, whatever. They should have seen the manifesto properly. I don't think the manifesto, those errors should have happened. That's my opinion. This was a 125 election for the Congress. 125 plus.
So they spoiled the game a bit. Jay, I want to come to you. Good evening, Jay. Lovely to have you back on elections here. And as always, we turn to you when we want to do any number crunching. And I want to know from you simply whether Bajrang Bali backfired on the Congress party, the Bajrang Dal ban, the PFI ban equation, and then the Prime Minister coming in and going on the offensive on this. Did that damage the Congress party, and also did it improve the BJP's prospects?
Navika, I think the Congress needs to learn from history. I would call this a mini Maut ka Saudagar. You know, you look at this. Bajrang Dal is so directly connected to Bajrang Bali, and then it so directly connects to Hanuman Chalisa. I think the Congress inadvertently exactly highlighted that spot of its outlook that it should not have in making those promises. Even making the promises, equating them to PFI. Even in the past, equating the RSS or Bajrang Dal to ISIS has not worked. Right? I don't know how the Congress expected it would work this time. It's clearly backfired for them, Navika. Clearly backfired.
And what was most interesting, because timing has to be perfect. It's not just about the issue being picked up, Navika. It's about the timing. The comment was made on a Mangalwar. Mangalwar ke din, subah ke waqt, when people would be sitting in Hanuman temples and perhaps going there for darshan, the manifesto release happens and you're like, we will ban Bajrang Dal. On a Tuesday, in a state which has the Anjaneya Hills, which is supposed to be the birthplace of Lord Hanuman, you say, okay, we are going to ban the Bajrang Dal. But welcome to all our guests who are joining us now in the studio. Before we go any further, Jay and I are going to do a quick recap. Let's start with the two numbers that we have put out so far, and then we will do a poll of polls of the numbers that have come.
I think at 7 p.m. Mumbai, Karnataka is
yeah, so we'll just go that in order. Let's do a quick recap. Right at the top, let's first put up the numbers again for coastal. For all of those who are joining us right now at the top of 7 p.m., the coastal numbers, here is what the Rajniti poll says. It gives out of 19, 13 to the BJP, 6 to the Congress.
It's a drop of 3 from last time. Last time was 16 and 3.
Yeah. What does the ETG poll say, however? Let's put up our own numbers
sticks
first.
to the same tally, 16 and 3 as last time.
So let's put up our own numbers first. Our numbers, according to the ETG poll, are 16 and 3. So here's the order we will follow. We will first take Times Now ETG number for both of the regions, all of the regions, and then we will come to Rajniti. Then we will do our poll of polls. Now, this is as far as coastal is concerned, 16 and 3. Moving on to, so moving on now, we have 16 and 3 as far as coastal Karnataka is concerned. Moving on to the next area which we are talking about, Central Karnataka. In Central Karnataka, the Times Now ETG numbers are giving a slightly lesser tally than last time around to the BJP.
17 and 9.
So we have 17 and 9. Last time, how much was it?
21 and reversely 4 less here.
All right. So there is a loss of 4 to the BJP in Central Karnataka. What does the Rajniti number say for Central Karnataka or Madhya Karnataka? Like we've been saying, the main issues that dominate this particular area, number 1 issue, of course, is Mr. Yediyurappa. Number 2 issue, this is the might of the Reddy brothers. This is the mining belt as well. And number 3 also is the increased push for water, the water resources, water bodies, etc. Rejuvenation of lakes, all of that has been done in this area as well. Times Now ETG out of 26 gives BJP 17, Congress 9.
And I think that's the Rajniti number also, because that's been going around the 17 and 9. Okay, they're just one different.
One
16
less.
And
so
10.
BJP is getting 16 according to Rajniti, Congress is getting 10. And we've declared two of the regions now out of 6. Now let's show you the poll of polls. What are the poll of poll numbers saying at this moment? Matrice says 86 for BJP, Congress 108, JDS 28, PMark says 92 for BJP, Jan Ki Baat gives 106 to the BJP, TV9 Polstrat gives 93 to the BJP. Congress 108, 101, 99, 104, and JDS 28, 28, 19, 24. The biggest takeaway from this is that everyone is giving a hung assembly, and so is the poll of polls. It's a hung assembly according to the poll of polls right now.
Absolutely. And look at this margin, 9 seats. As I said, with the 3% margin of error, in Karnataka, you can actually give a 30 seats band. So everybody has played very safely. Some of them have stuck to this end of the range. Some of them have stuck to the other end of the range.
Well, joining us at this moment are Ashutosh, senior journalist, Mr. R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist as well, and Smita Prakash, editor of ANI, looking bright as ever. Smita, your state, the state that you come from, going to polls, and the poll of polls says hung house. How does that sound to you? But before I ask you that, Tuhin Sinha, Sanjay Jha, Sumanth Raman also joined this broadcast. Good evening. And while we can't do any bets on national television, we'll just do a round of what people think and do they agree with the polls. So Smita, go first.
Well, clearly with his poll of polls that Padmaja just put up, I think it's quite clear that there's no wave. That's the first thing that one can say. So this 40% Sarkara that we were talking about seems that only 40% is what any party is going to get, nothing more than. They're not crossing that 50% mark. Nobody is crossing. So it's going to be a 40% Sarkara, whoever comes into power right now. And they will need that third factor. At least that's what these polls are showing. And, the Congress made it all about corruption. But if it was that much of an anti-incumbency, then the numbers should have been much better for the Congress. This doesn't show that the Congress was, even though they ran a very good campaign, doesn't look like they managed the numbers that they had expected. If you remember the earlier, about 2 weeks ago, it was supposed to be a clear sweep. It was going to be Congress all the way. And then in the slog overs comes Mr. Modi, and comes the entire gaffes that Padmaja listed out, and that you also pointed out about the whole Bajrang Bali, Bajrang Dal thing, and about saying it in a place which is the birthplace of Anjaneya. You come and say that they just changed the whole thing, and the very last day, that sovereignty dig that was done, that itself, I think, to a large extent, those undecided voters seem to have made a difference.
Well, Mr. Veerappa Moily, former minister, senior leader of the Congress party, joining this broadcast, also joining the broadcast
with Minister in the Karnataka cabinet, Mr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan. Biggest face-off right here on Times Now on Exit Poll Dynamica.
Well, Mr. Veerappa Moily, as far as the numbers so far are concerned in the poll of polls, it doesn't seem like the Congress party is getting the complete majority as of now. Hung house is the best expectation. Do you think Congress overestimated its strength, or has it gone wrong somewhere along the way?
But I am not a psephologist to contradict to give an analysis of the result, because that I can tell you only after 13th.
Okay.
But at the same time, but one thing I can tell you, mathematics wise, and all the assumptions wise, the kind of all the 5 years, Congress has done excellent groundwork right from the booth level to the state level. And the state leadership under the leadership of Shivakumar and also Siddaramaiah, they have spared no efforts at all. And they have been, all our leaders have done excellent homework. And apart from the organizational strength, even the biggest rallies which have been conducted by the state leaders, should also contribute. Added to that, the national leaders like the Rahul Gandhi through the Bharat Jodo Yatra, that was the biggest success.
But do you think, Mr. Moily, Mr. Moily, the Bajrang Dal ban in the manifesto, set the wrong tone, pressed the wrong chord in the elections, because you were the first one to come out and say no ban on Bajrang Dal? Did you think it would have damaged the Congress's prospects?
No. In fact, the BJP expected that it will damage our prospects. But I don't think, we have clearly said that it is not intention of banning. You should understand the word like, any elements or reactionary forces who disturb the rule of law and also violate the constitutional provisions. We said, like PFI or the Bajrang Dal, because, the very word that PFI has been already banned by the present government. Only question is Bajrang Dal also. Only if they contradict the provisions of the constitution and they violate the rule of law, then only some action will have to be taken. That doesn't mean ban alone. That alone is not the answer. We have already clarified it.
Okay.
Moreover, you look at the Supreme Court decision where they have said the people will have to be dealt with heavily who disrupt the society and also rule of law.
Mr. Moily,
in the light of all these
able
things,
to read between the lines, and we've got the drift of your argument very well put there. But it's also time now in these exit polls to go back to the number before we go to Mr. Ashwath Narayan. Let's take a look at the numbers.
The big numbers of the Times Now ETG poll and the overall. We will then get you a region by region breakup also very quickly. Let's just put all of them out in the other ones that are left. This is the poll of polls. Let's put the Times Now ETG overall numbers for Karnataka. We have already put out coastal. We have put out central. Now let's put out the other numbers, please, of the Times Now ETG poll. All right, so this is Central Karnataka. We are still talking about Central Karnataka,
Actually,
which we
Mumbai
had just
and
done
Hyderabad
5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yes, so wow.
Kittur and Kalyan Karnataka.
Yes,
welcome.
so Kalyan Karnataka, also known as Hyderabad Karnataka. Of the 40 seats here, the Congress is at 29 according to our numbers, and the BJP is at 10 in Kalyan Karnataka. How does this compare, Jay, to the last time?
See, last time, okay, we had a little different breakup. We had 32, but of that, the BJP had 12. So I'm assuming out of this 40, the BJP should have had 15 or 16 odd. Okay, it's a slight setback as per this poll. Okay, but we have to remember one thing, Padmaja, that this is a region where the BJP has really put in a great social engineering effort. Right? This is the region from where Mr. Khadge comes. Yeah. They have worked on components within the SC right, Lambanis and Bovis. They've worked on the SC left. So actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the BJP actually improves its stand
gains
here.
over here. Now, we're talking about Hyderabad Karnataka or Kalyan Karnataka. A couple of things that viewers would be interested in this region. One, it's an extremely backward area. It has, in human development indices, not faring very high. It has a special category status as well.
Seeking.
No, I think it already has a special category status. The other thing is that the reservation rejig that has been done by the BJP, where they've taken away the 4% so-called Muslim reservation and distributed evenly between the SCs and STs, this is the one area where it is likely to have the maximum impact, positive impact, but also one negative impact. This is the area that also has a large population of the Banjara community, who, if you remember, had gone and pelted stones at Mr. Yedurappa's house. They are not very happy.
To put a jalebi, the way you say always keep going round, to balance it off, nicely is to say that the BJP candidate who defeated Mr. Khadge in his bastion is a Lambani. He's a Banjara. So the BJP has actually even taken care to nurture those leaders so that there's not much of a negative side effect.
And the man that they have fielded against Priyank Khadge in Chittapur is also a Lambani Banjara.
Lambani is a Rathod.
Yeah, he's Rathod, Manikandan Rathod. And if you remember, we had this entire controversy where they released an audio tape and this man was saying कि मेरे खिलाफ 44 cases है, मैं मार दूंगा, खत्म कर दूंगा. That man is also a Banjara.
It's also a Congress strong.
Just 26 years old, by the way. Yes.
Former Chief Minister Veerendra Patil is from this area.
Dharam Singh is from there.
Singh is from this area. So it is a Congress bastion. And for BJP to make inroads in this area, I think polling has also been comparatively lesser here as compared to others. So if there's an anti-incumbency, you don't really see it much if it should be in a Congress strong area.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the BJP still, remember, even 2 elections ago, the BJP to get into double-digit tally here was a problem.
No, but Jay, also, and Smita, this would also be a region where Mr. Yedurappa was giving his all in northern Karnataka, because also the other issue, in addition to having SC/ST population, you have a large population of Lingayats here, and you also have a very large Muslim population. So one, they were hoping that Mr. Yedurappa's push is going to work, and that there will be a counter polarization which these numbers don't quite bear out. So this is as far as Hyderabad Karnataka is concerned. Now let's quickly go on to Mumbai Karnataka, better known as Kittur Karnataka. This of course has a very historical reference. If you'll quickly tell us about it.
Okay. So just as the map loads, our viewers, this is a region which is actually bang next to Maharashtra. It has a lot of the Maharashtra effect in terms of its social and economic fabric. Just like Maharashtra has sugar barons, sugar mills, these bordering districts do have sugar barons, sugar mills. Just like southern Maharashtra has education
and the Kattis.
Kattis, right? Just as southern Maharashtra has a lot of the education barons, they are there over here. Even here, a lot of the tribal leaders are extremely well empowered. The Jarkiolis are Balmikis, they're STs. So, I mean, we are going to see a beautiful, sharp contest here with a region that has a sort of Maratha legacy. A lot of the language spoken there.
Again, this area, hardly surprising, where, we had Devendra Fadnavis, we had Eknath Shinde coming and campaigning because of the very contested area of Belagavi. So that's Bombay, Karnataka, 23.
I told you, it's a very sharp contest.
Sharp contest. Very almost evenly divided. Is nowhere in the running.
Seats, the BJP out here, almost 10, right?
So they won 13 in the assembly and 3 in the bypolls.
Shettar and Savadi that in this region.
So Savadi from Athani. And Shettar from this region. It's from this region.
So that means that the rebels are having an effect.
No, I would actually put it the other way round.
Okay, countdown, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. We are putting out our overall numbers now. Let's just go for the overall numbers. We've broken down each one of the individual regions. And the overall number, according to the Times Now ETG poll, is BJP at 85. Congress is getting a majority according to our exit poll.
They need
The
one
magic
more.
number.
They need one more.
They're 112
Exactly. All right.
Exactly. Navika, this is the point I was making earlier as well. Congress, when in 1999 Mr. Krishna brings it to power, it's about 132 seats. In 2013, Mr. Siddaramaiah gets that, it's 122. Now it's 113. Inke peaks gir rahe hain. So I think the risk is open.
You'll be now accused of really trying to play down the Congress and saying, inke peaks gir rahe hain. Arey, inko mil gaya na.
Mr. Ashwath Narayan, Mr. Ashwath Narayan, first over to you. The ETG poll thinks the numbers are going to be 85 for the BJP, 113, just scraping majority for the Congress party. And if we look at the poll of poll numbers, that number is going to be in the region of 85 to 90, which means the BJP, neither the single largest party nor really getting anywhere close to the majority. Congress way ahead of you. How does that position the BJP Karnataka out of the BJP's hand? Are you resigning yourself to the fate in store for you as per the exit? I think that's the question I want to take.
And then add with the number of
in old Mysuru, if that's what optimistic polls. So I want to ask Tuhin Sinha,
who being rendered
has went door to door.
Exit polls on another channel is currently giving 7, 8 their numbers are accurate. It's going to be a Congress majority, reasonably comfortable, but
2 road shows. The interesting thing about Bengaluru, the urban seats, is that the BJP hasn't done well in these in this region historically. In fact, over the last 2 elections, it's gone down. It went 2013 it had 12, then it went down to 11.
And 2008, it's made in government, it had 17 over here.
Okay, so this time, and this is interesting, in Bangalore region, the BJP has gained 6 seats according to the Times Now ETG numbers.
Yeah, it's up to 18. Yeah, I don't know what this is.
No, so I think this is wrong, because the numbers that we showed earlier at 18. Let's go back to the earlier numbers, please. It was 11 in 2018, and today's Times Now ETG projection, can we please go back to the earlier numbers, is 18. Yes, here are those numbers. We'll fix that in the comparative as well.
Wait, that's Rajniti, that is...
Okay, this is the Rajniti number, and the ETG numbers are something else. All right. So 18 and 10.
So there is a divergence, and I'll try and qualify both of them. Okay.
There is another poll that's come up, but the question really boils down now once again to the issue of who's getting what. And we have Mr. Adil Hasan, spokesperson of the AIMIM, also its youth president. And Adil Hasan, question is it going to be hung house or not? Because in recent times, most states and most electorates have given a very, very decisive verdict in most of the elections. Will Karnataka be different, or do you think the Congress is safely home? Do you think the BJP this time around may have lost its opportunity?
No, I don't think Congress will cross the majority in the assembly. Because Congress, BJP will be less. Congress may be the single largest party, but JDS will get good seat. JDS will get 30, I think 30-35 minimum JDS will get. Again, the biggest problem in the Congress is that they can't keep their MLAs safely. They can't. The resort politics will start. The Raipur, Jaipur. Now they have one Himachal Pradesh. Shimla is also there. So you will see the chartered plane, Mr. Shiv Kumara will be the pilot, and they will take to Shimla because summer is on. They will take to Himachal Pradesh or Raipur, Jaipur. Congress, the biggest problem in Congress is the MLA don't stick with the ideology. Congress not even discuss the minority issue, Muslim issue, not even Mallikarjun Kharge boldly talk about the 4% reservation is scrapped by the BJP government. And lastly, DK Shiv Kumar told, not even the Rahul Gandhi spoke about it. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi campaigned for the RSS man, Mr. Jagdish Sattar. That was shocking for us. We think that Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is different, but she also followed the same Congress, because we don't find Congress and BJP different. Congress talks about soft Hindutva, BJP talk about Hindutva. It is the only difference between both.
Because Adil Hasan of the AIMIM has already plotted the entire itinerary for you and your MLAs for the next few days. Shimla apparently, according to him, is very good at this time of the year.
No, it is his assumption. Congress will get absolute majority, and this time Amit Shah or any BJP people cannot harm our government, because Congress has chosen very loyal persons to contest. So any luring or any kind of blackmail, threatening will not affect the government, and
but
government
isn't
will
it
be
a fact
stable
that
for
Mr.
5 years.
Surjewala has already been rushed in from Delhi to Bangalore in the afternoon today? That's the report that we were given, that already there are reports.
Look, was he successful? Went to Jaipur to curb the dissent. Now, will he be successful in Karnataka?
No, the question on that, the question will be based on Siddaramaiah or DK Shiv Kumar. Because if it is Siddaramaiah, then DK Shiv Kumar will pull the rug. If it is DK Shiv Kumar, then Siddaramaiah will pull the rug, and some MLAs.
And any opinion poll you have seen, there is a gap of 15% in terms of popularity of Siddaramaiah and Bombay. Even your opinion poll, there's something around 40% people are liking Siddaramaiah as a chief minister, and DK Shiv Kumar is 3%, 4%, 10%. There is no comparison between these two. And if
but the plane and the resorts,
I don't think that it's going to. Maybe after 6 months when they form the government, maybe somebody else becomes a Eknath Shinde. That's a different thing altogether.
So Siddaramaiah is Charanjit Singh Channi.
No.
नहीं बता दो ना भाई
सिद्धरमैया हाँ सिद्धरमैया is the one chief minister who ran government comfortably for 5 years. अच्छा 2013 to 2018 BJP changed 3 chief minister in 2008 to 2013. They changed another chief minister 2018 to 2023. Siddaramaiah, we should give credit. He's a mass-based leader. He ran administration with firm hand.
But he's from JDS. He's not a congressman.
Here's the thing.
He's from JDS.
You're right in saying that the popularity graph is very, very different, and of course also administrative experience. That being said, I was listening to Mr. DK Shiv Kumar's speeches in his own constituency, where he led a massive road show, I think about 4 days ago, and the speech he said that vote for me because son of this soil is going to become chief minister. If already that thing has been settled, the issue has been settled, he's going to his people saying, I will be CM. And what is to be told? Forget it.
That helps Congress in a large number. Because if Congress has to form the government, JDS in Mysuru with the Vakaliga important. If the Vakaligas were given the
intention... But Siddaramaiah is not a Vakaliga.
No.
That's what you're trying to say. And that is also
let me complete. Yeah. Congress this time has not projected anybody as a chief minister. Neither Siddaramaiah nor DK Shiv Kumar. DK Shiv Kumar is a Vakaliga.
They did that even in Himachal. No. They managed it in Himachal. But will they managed it during the campaign factor. During the campaign, the DK and Siddaramaiah had very good rapport on camera. They're holding hands and running in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. They're also chatting away.
If you look at the figures, if you look at the figures in every exit poll and every opinion poll, JDS is getting JDS is not being decimated, but getting less number of seats in comparison to 2018. 2018 they got 37. Now they're hovering around something around 22, 23, 24, 25. That means there is something happening in the Vakaliga votes, and if that is happening, the credit should go to DK Shiv Kumar. And at the first time,
Tuhin Sinha, I want to get you on this. Congress party, if they have the numbers, if they are the single largest or the majority party, do you think it will be new trouble for them? On the other hand, is it really the end of opportunities for the BJP?
First of all, Navika ji, I think most of the pollsters have played it extremely safe this time and thereby would be wrong. if you ask me, BJP is still on course for a 41.5 to 42% vote share, which would translate, or which would convert into roughly 118 to 120 seats. And that's because we had a very layered campaign. While on the surface we retaliated whenever they tried to, denigrate the Hindu community, we stood up for the Bajrang Dal but at the same time, the issues on the ground were very different. They were the Upper Bhadra irrigation project, the Shubh Lagna scheme, the Kashi Yatra scheme, and many other similar schemes. So I don't think we are out of the game. Most of the pollsters have tried to play it safe, and you will be surprised on the day of counting because we are still very confident of getting anywhere between 115
Sorry to interrupt you. Let's quickly listen in to the incumbent, to Mr. Bommai speaking right now.
Turnout is a very positive sign for Congress party depicting an anti.
It is other way around.
Against BJP.
See, always, if you go by the track record, the more number of voters turn out is always better for the BJP, not for Congress. And this shows that a lot of people who otherwise not come and voted, especially in urban areas, they have come and voted. So that is the positive sign for BJP.
Sir, are you in talks with JDS if there is hung?
There is no question of hung. We are going to get absolute majority, I am telling you.
So the Congress is making allegations that near Dandeli, already buses have come and they are approaching their MLAs, sir, BJP, MLA candidates.
This is all their figment of imagination.
Sir,
thank you. Now,
Sir, to be fair, he is never particularly perky any time of the day.
That's his body language, whether he's winning or losing breakfast or dinner time, that's his body language.
That's usually what we get accused of, reading the body language.
You cannot know. Karnataka politicians, I'm sorry Ashutosh, they all have the same body language, same expression when they win or they lose. Siddaramaiah, all of them, look at them. Look at Kharge. Look now you're going into yesterday here.
And DK Shivakumar. DK is very aggressive.
We are talking about Siddaramaiah, Bommai, Kharge. They have the same expression. Don't go with Veerappa ji and don't go with Oscar Fernandez who have done theatre. But go into the other. They are not the ones who they have this stoic expression. They don't believe in expressing themselves like that.
But the question really here at the bottom line, Jay. And that's what people want to know. Do you see that people are going to play safe because the exit polls, Tuhin Sinha's biggest allegation is everybody is playing safe, nobody is sticking their neck out. Do you believe that is true, or do you believe somewhere the average poll of polls which says 97 to 100, it's going to be that neck and neck?
I think it is actually going to be that neck and neck. Because the point I've been making since the afternoon, and Padmaja is telling me that I'm just shooting a little bit overboard. But the BJP, if you observe the Lok Sabha polls in Karnataka, right from 2004, and even Vidhan Sabha polls, the BJP has been consistently, be it Yediyurappa's Lokayukta case, something else, the BJP has been consistently narrowing the gap with the Congress. And it's starting to restrict the peaks of the Congress. अब वो ज़माना नहीं है कि 150 प्लस आते, किसी के नहीं आते. So now वो जो narrowing peak phenomenon है कि peak को restrict करना है, ये उसका outcome है कि outcome is so close.
You think this time there are going to be more seats where the margins are going to be very less?
Yes, there will be not only more seats where the margins are less, even if the Congress gets 120, even last time they got less than the BJP, 78, lekin marginal seats unke zyada the. So that narrowness of the contest.
Numbers se haare hain. In some cases BJP lost with less than 5,000 and in one seat they even less than 1,000 votes.
1,000 votes.
No, they lost in very Malki, right? Malki, which was Musky.
In Raichuru district.
800. Yeah. So one seat was less than 1,000 seats. So these are very, very narrow margins.
If we have to keep the suspense alive, my bet is that it's going to be extremely close. At the moment, and I'm going only by the numbers on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, it's neck and neck as an average poll of polls number, 97 predictions for the BJP and 100 seats for the Congress party, give or take 3. You know, the difference is only 3 between them, and then there is a party called the JDS sitting with 25 seats, which is once again going to be the kingmaker. And Padmaja, do you remember those times when Kumaraswamy went into 10 Janpath and out of 10 Janpath with a handkerchief on his face? Well, those days looks like are going to return. Only this time, into which house the car is going to go, we don't quite know, if those are the numbers that we'll see on the 13th.
To be fair, that car has gone into all gates. It has gone for 2 years into BJP gates and 2 years into Congress gates.
Yeah, but this time, as they say, lucky dip kiska hoga, we don't know. And we'll wait and watch because these numbers tell you that it's a nail-biting finish. So 13th of May is going to be extremely, extremely exciting. We'll take a short break at this point, but numbers, more numbers and more polls and better averages are what we are going to look at. At the moment, we'll take a short break. We'll be back shortly with India Upfront.